here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Today, we have a First Alert 6 Scam School special for you. So we're talking about the increasing use of AI or artificial intelligence, and this is something that scammers are grabbing onto. So I want to just get in touch with Tristan Gomes with the Better Business Bureau, who is joining us now to talk a little bit about this. So Tristan, tell us a little bit more about these AI scams. It seems they're getting more and more difficult to kind of realize that you're getting scammed in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Artificial intelligence is making scams more convincing and harder to detect more than ever. Scammers are now using AI tools to clone voices, create fake videos, and generate highly convincing messages. And so while the technology itself and AI has been a benefit in some areas of our lives, scammers are using it to scale scams and manipulate victims more effectively.
Yeah, and this is really crazy stuff because I took some notes here based off of what you told me earlier. And artificial intelligence, it's making scams more convincing. They're using AI tools to clone voices, create fake videos, and generate highly convincing messages. So again, I mean, just with the advent of this technology, I just think of the poor little grandmother or grandfather at home getting a phone call from someone who's utilizing perhaps a fake voice of one of their grandchildren to kind of convince them to send over money. That's kind of what I think about.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. It's a scam that we're seeing very often here at the BBBs. For example, it'll be a grandchild who's in jail and sends a message or gives a call to one of their grandparents stating, "Hey, I'm in jail. I need $1,000 for bail money." And as any grandparent who loves their grandchild wants to do, they go, "Yeah, absolutely. Let me, get my bank information. Let me send it over to you. I'll get you out of jail." And you don't even think twice about it because it's coming out of love. And so they kind of try to manipulate you into, making decisions that you want to make because you think you're doing the right thing, when in reality, it's going to a scammer. And so in those situations, it's so important to take a deep breath, step back, hang up the phone, find the contacts for your grandchild in your phone, give them a call and say, "Hey,
Right.
I just got this call from you. Are you in jail?" Most of the time, pretty much all the time, the grandchild is going to say, "No, I'm just at home."
Right. Yeah, I'm just fine. Yeah. So again, I mean, that's always a good backup, right? I mean, to make sure that you aren't getting scammed, if you do get one of these sort of red flag phone calls, just hang up and call the person directly. As a grandma or a grandfather, it would seem that you would have your grandchild's contact information readily available. So that's a great idea, a great tip there if you think you are being scammed. So Tristan, tell us, you may be asking yourself, why are these AI scams on the rise? So this is kind of the question that I wanted to get to this afternoon.
So the reason we believe that these AI scams are on the rise is just because it makes it so much easier. I mean, we think for work how easy we can just type into ChatGPT or any AI platform and just go, "Hey, I need to write an email to this person about this. Can you put it together?" It comes out in seconds. And so it's extremely easy. And so these scammers can easily do the same thing. They can whip up a fake email that they can send out to a whole company or a whole bunch of people just saying, "Yeah, there was a bank statement that was wrong. You need to click this link that leads to malware, or you need to click this link and put your bank information in, and we'll get it all figured out and squared away." And so it's just so easy for these scammers to go and do it, and they can do it in mass. They can, clone voices in, less than 3 seconds. And so they can easily make a whole bunch of phone calls that way rather than them trying to pick up the phone themselves and do it. And so the reason that this scam is just taking over is because of just the accessibility and how easy it is and how real they can make it look with AI.
Yeah, AI is really just incredible. I mean, sometimes you take those quizzes online and is this AI or is this real life? And some people still get those wrong. So something to take note of there for sure. So some tips, like you mentioned, verify any urgent calls. We talked about that one, and then do your research before sending money. So you want to know that the person, the place, the entity, whatever that you're sending money to is actually the person, place, or entity you believe it is, right? So that is one thing to keep in mind as well. Can you name a few others for us today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you said that perfectly. You should. My job is just, yeah, verify the original requests. They want you to just think or make a decision without thinking. And so you're going to go ahead and put your banking information, your personal information. And then also, if something feels urgent, it's probably not real. I mean, I just got a text message the other day saying I had a outstanding parking ticket that I needed to pay by 6 p.m. that night. That's never going to happen. And so the urgency is always a red flag. And then if it's too good to be true, if it's an AI scam saying that you want a sweepstakes, just click on this, put your banking information and we'll wire the money over. and you never signed up for it, that's probably not real. And so just, take your time, take a deep breath, and then ask people around you. I think so often we, don't want to be the person that's like, hey, is this real or not? But it can save you a headache and it can save you a lot of time and money.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Some good tips there. Anything else you wanted to add, Tristan?
No, but if you have been scammed, whether it is AI or any scam, be sure to go to bbb.org/scam tracker to put it in there so you can help a neighbor, a friend, a family member. Or if you think something is a scam, go and check it out. We have a whole bunch of things that you can check out there.
Yeah, that's really great. Okay, we'll get to that in a second as well. Anyway, thank you so much for your time today. Nice to see you.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Jacqueline.
Thank you. All right, so do want to get to some more of these consumer resources. So Tristan mentioned for more information, you can always head to bbb.org. There you can get your hands on some consumer tips, the latest news and scam alerts like this one we were just talking about with First Alert 6 Scam School, so the increase of AI scams. You can go there and report a scam. Chances are you're not the only one that fell for it, okay? These scammers are getting away with a lot more things, and with advent of technology, as we were just discussing, this makes things kind of more difficult to spot. And then if you have any questions about a business, the legitimacy of a business, or, if you do want to sing certain praises for a business, you can find a business on there as well. So just some tips for this First Alert 6 Scam School. And please do stay tuned for our 3 p.m. broadcast with our Dave Zavolinsky. We'll see you then.